This is Watch Mojo's top 20 greatest WWE wrestlers of all time. I'm going to see if I agree or disagree with them. All right. Off rip, it's got to be Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Stone Cold, The Rock, Randy Orton, Ric Flair. Apparently Seth Rollins is on this list, so I'll just put him on there. Triple H. I'm going to give you 10. That's 8. I'm going to say Randy Savage is number 9. And then number 10. Not in particular order, but maybe Rey Mysterio. That'll probably be 10 of the 20. All right. Let's see. And I'll tell you if I agree or disagree with these. If you like these, please like my YouTube video. Or, yeah, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch, TikTok, all this stuff. And let's see if we agree or disagree with the top 20 greatest WWE wrestlers of all time from WatchMojo.com.
Balances impressive high-flying acumen with a believable. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our
Cody Rhodes
picks
should not
for
be
the
on the
GOATs
list.
of the WWE.
Roman Reigns will be on the list for sure.
Number 20, Seth Rollins. This former member of The Shield is nothing if not versatile. Seth Rollins' offense balances impressive high-flying acumen with a believable toughness in the ring. This varied ring knowledge has benefited Rollins as a heel and face. Although, if we're being honest, we love to hate the guy. It speaks to one Colby Daniel Lopez's ability to get real heel heat, despite displaying every notable talent in the ring. Seth Rollins' ever-evolving character work is also great, as evidenced by his current freaking persona as a weirded out drip fashion plate. Number 19.
See, I think he's been in WWE for 12 years now. I think that I have underestimated how great of a wrestler he is. He's had some bad times, but he has been on top for a while. I think that's a good answer. 20 is probably a good spot. Mick Foley. This is a man right here.
Mick Foley.
This is a man right here.
Mrs. Foley's baby boy has transcended generations to enjoy a place as one of the best to ever do it. We admit that we're particularly partial to Foley's Cactus Jack persona that he cultivated during the late 80s and into the 90s. It was here where the man's reputation as a hardcore wrestling legend was secured. But wait, Mick Foley wasn't finished. He also took 2 of the deadliest bumps ever seen in the business and was able to consistently reinvent his pro wrestling persona. Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, take your pick.
Yeah, he had technically 4 personas because he has Mick Foley, Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love, right? This is a good answer. I like this one because he was around for a long time. He took a lot of nasty bumps. He obviously has like the Hell in a Cell spot. He has the WrestleMania 22 with Edge getting speared through the table. He also what I'm trying to say, he also has like one of the turning points of the WWE/WCW Monday Night War, where they spoiled that he was going to win the championship and everybody went and tuned in to watch it happen despite it being spoiled. So I would definitely say Mick Foley deserves to be on this list.
They're all faces of Foley, a wrestling icon that, in giving his all, became a legend. Number 18, Triple H. It was one of the loudest pops in WWE history. That 2002 return from the injury for Hunter Hearst Helmsley on Monday Night Raw. Not too shabby for a wrestler who predominantly played heel, yet his dedication to the business was respected by just about everyone. It's true that the cerebral assassin did primarily work his best magic within an antagonistic headspace. Triple H was able to be both physically intimidating and mentally dominant.
I would say he's a little low on this list. I would say Triple H should be higher than this. Probably like top 15. I'm surprised he's this low. The man held the World Heavyweight Championship for such a long time. He's in a lot of main events. Oh, you know who else will be on this list? Shawn Michaels will be on this list too. See the one that's married to Vince McMahon's daughter? Yes, he's married to Stephanie McMahon. They've been married for like 20 years now. He also runs creative now. So, I don't know. I think he should be a little bit higher. I personally was never really big on Triple H, but like D-Generation X is huge. He had his title runs for a long time. The second run of D-Generation X was whatever. But like he's always really been the main event guy. So, well, besides like the first couple years. But even then, like, He's a big part of the Attitude Era, big part of the Ruthless Aggression, big part of the PG, and like he is the man in charge now. So I don't know.
Master
I think he should be
manipulator
higher,
and
but
heel strategist.
we'll see
He
what
may
they have.
currently
Kurt
lead
Angle will be on
behind
this
the
list, too.
scenes, but many fans will never forget how Triple H ruled the locker room back in the day. Number 17, CM Punk. The prodigal son returned to the WWE in 2023 in a move that you either saw coming a mile away or never guessed in a million years. His feud with Drew McIntyre was particularly spectacular, proving that Punk could indeed still roll with the big boys. His promo skills, meanwhile, are as sharp as ever, and Punk has also largely retained his rabidly loyal fan base. What can we say? He's certainly Hall of Fame material, and will probably always be tethered to those moments when professional wrestling stops feeling scripted and starts feeling real.
I don't like CM Punk. Okay, I've made that pretty known. I think him being over Triple H is kind of crazy. He's gone for 7 years from the company. Actually, longer than that, if I recall. It's been like since 2013. He had been gone from wrestling for 7 years. I think he was, my math could be wrong, but like 10 years away from WWE. His stuff in the beginning was good, but not like top tier. He had that run, obviously, the Money in the Bank and all that stuff, but he had the World Heavyweight title before then, and it didn't really like click. He had three really good years of like being in the main event scene and all that stuff. Then he was gone. Maybe he eclipses Triple H in like a couple years now that he's back. I don't know if he's higher than Triple H. I also don't like Cody Rhodes being on this list, to be honest. And it's not that I don't like Cody Rhodes, it's that a lot of Cody Rhodes' career in the WWE was not top tier stuff. He was gone, he came back. Like, this is more recency bias. He shouldn't be over Triple H. Like, these two 1000% should not be over Triple H.
Number 16, Cody Rhodes. Sometimes you need to bet on yourself
What's up, Sky Mania?
your
How you going,
worth to others. Cody Rhodes made history when he
Also, they shouldn't be higher than Seth Rollins either. Now that I'm talking, like, now that I'm really thinking about it, they should not be higher than Seth Rollins.
departed the comparative safety of a WWE paycheck to co-found AEW in 2019. He made himself a mega star in the process, proving that this grandson of a plumber could make it as a main event single star. He returned to the WWE a conquering hero, somebody who
Maybe
could
in, like,
represent the company
5 more
while
years?
also proving
Yeah,
himself in the
but
ring
right now?
day in and day out.
No.
He also plays a proper babyface with just enough throwback nostalgia to connect wrestling's past to its future. Number 15, Randy Orton.
Should be higher.
There's no telling when the Viper Randy Orton is going to strike. He may be winding down his career somewhat in
Yeah, if it was like greatest wrestlers of all time, maybe it's a different conversation, but like WWE career only, you can't count Cody Rhodes' Ring of Honor stuff. You can't count his AEW stuff. He should not be higher than Triple H. Randy Orton being 15, too low.
the modern day, but this generational talent has certainly done his father and grandfather proud. There's
Too
no
low.
shadow whatsoever to block out Randy Orton's talent
We'll
as
see.
a WWE
Right now I'm
superstar.
saying too low.
He looks great, works well in the ring, can cut promos, and possesses one of the finest finishes in the business. Randy Orton is another wrestler who tends to work best as a heel, but we'd be lying if we didn't cop to being fond of his RK Bro partnership with Matt Riddle. He's kind of like the ultimate creator wrestler in a video game with maxed out stats. In other words, he's the real deal. No
Yeah, we're talking about Evolution, The Legend Killer, Legacy, Rated RKO, the memed 2009 Randy Orton, The Authority, RK Bro. The man has 14 world championships to his name and a bunch of other titles. The stuff he's doing right now is fantastic. I don't know, bro. That 15 is low as fuck. I don't know. I think he's low. Roddy Piper, he should be on this list. I don't know if he should be higher than Randy Orton. And he had runs in WCW, if I'm correct. So you can't even count that unless you're counting that because they own them now. I don't know.
Number
Let's
14,
see. Let's see.
Rowdy Roddy Piper. Professional
He is very
wrestling
influential.
Isn't always a world
I didn't grow
of
up with him,
legitimate
but
tough guys, but Rowdy Roddy Piper just has
I
to
saw
be one
his
of
like
the
end
coolest
of his
outliers.
career.
He helped redefine the prototypical unhinged heel with a charisma that was equally undeniable. Piper could be loathed or loved, but he always delivered in the ring with a rough and tumble style.
Piper's
Hot Rod's
Pit.
innate toughness also translated into the world of movies, with flicks like They Live and Hell
And he
Comes
was
to
in Saints Row
Frogtown
4.
serving as great examples of Piper's versatility as an entertainer.
I like
Rowdy
this.
Roddy Piper may have dominated the rock and wrestling era of the 1980s,
think Andre the Giant
but his
will also be on
legacy
this
within
list.
the industry will live on forever. Number 13, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I think Chris Jericho is underrated. I don't think he should be higher than Randy Orton. He's had a hell of an AEW career. He had a hell of a WCW like start, and which transcended him once he came to WWE. He's changed his persona a bunch of times. I think he's underrated, but again, higher than some of these other people, I don't know.
Some professional wrestlers are keen to ride a single gimmick throughout their whole career. Then there's goats
first
like
ever
Chris Jericho
undisputed
that have
champion.
consistently reinvented themselves over the years, often to wondrous effect. It's not just gimmicks or clothing that's changed with Jericho, however, but often his moveset as well. This legend has incorporated everything from strikes and submission holds to inventive, high-flying offense over the years. Chris
I would've
Jericho
put
has
him at
remained
20.
relevant through it all,
Probably.
however, from his WWE tenure to his current stint in AEW. Here's hoping that the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller will close out his career
just made
with
the
the
list.
respect he deserves. Number 12, Roman Reigns. Sure.
He is hard because right now Roman Reigns, like the last 5 years, has been godly. This bloodline storyline and everything with him was godly, but holy fuck, for 8 years it sucked. He sucked, bro. I don't care what anybody says. I had to see him live in person multiple times. I saw him at WrestleMania. I've seen him win titles in person. I saw him win the Royal Rumble 10 years ago in person. A lot of his stuff sucks. 12, I think, is high. I would actually put Seth Rollins higher than him if we're talking about longevity and quality of the character. Where Seth Rollins was like an awesome heel and people loved to hate him and all that stuff. We did not like this man. As a matter of fact, I think Brock Lesnar is going to be on this fucking list now too, that I think about it. 12, it's tough because the last 5 years have been so fucking good with him. But the 8 before, I'll say 6 because the Shield was pretty poppin'. But that middle part, the big dog, this Roman Reigns that you're seeing on screen right now, no.
Sure, it may have taken a while, but the Roman Reigns experiment is officially complete. Fans soundly trounced the babyface version of this former Shield and
That like this version right here, like this, what we're seeing right now, this match right here is literally one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time. I've never even seen this in its completion because this match was 30 something, I think almost 40 minutes long, and a WrestleMania that took forever, and we just did not care about this. We literally left. I don't even know what this match looks like except for watching stuff, clips and stuff back and forth. It fucking blew.
Enforcer back during the 2010s. Yet all it took was a vicious heel turn and one epic run as the
This
head
is
of
when
the
he got
table
good.
to turn that all around. Now this original tribal chief is cheered on his own merits, while also existing as a solid gold pro wrestling attraction. Roman Reigns' wrestling talent was never in question, but that heel run allowed for a character to emerge and for captivating storytelling to take hold. And today, well, Roman Reigns is basically untouchable, and we acknowledge him. Number 11, Kurt Angle.
I feel like he should be higher. I'm not gonna lie. 11 is low for Kurt Angle, but then again, you know what? Actually, it's a good spot because he did leave the company and had a longer tenure in TNA than he ever did in WWE. I think actually his WWE career It might have been a little bit longer because of the tail end, but for the most part, his prime was TNA. So, you know what? I'll take 11.
It's almost criminal how quickly this Olympic champion took to professional wrestling. Kurt Angle's natural athleticism was certainly working in his favor back when he debuted in the WWE in 1998. We all know that physicality is only part of the formula for pro wrestling success. You also need to entertain, and Kurt Angle learned how to do that in shockingly quick fashion. As a result, he was pretty much perfect, a physically threatening ringer that could play heel or face with convincing ease. Angle was funny when he needed to be funny, and absolutely vicious, seemingly out of nowhere. Oh, and he definitely did not suck. Number 10, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Deserves to be on the
Macho
list.
Man's intense promos were one of a kind, and his matches with the likes of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the stuff of pro wrestling legend. Savage shined during an era of giant performers and slow, lumbering matches, bringing to WWE his accelerated work rate, infectious charisma, and a character which could work gangbusters as both a babyface and a heel.
To end Kurt Angle on a good note, Kurt Angle is one of my favorites of all time. He's like in top 3. It's like Kurt Angle, John Cena, and Kenny Omega. Those are my top 3, right? But again, you can't count his TNA stuff for this list, but he definitely is up there. For Macho Man, I never really got to watch Macho Man at all, any of his stuff, but he is such a huge part of the history of WWE. He was like the number 2 guy during the Hulk Hogan days for a long time. And he put on banger WrestleMania 3 against the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which I just mentioned, is like one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. And the mega powers explode and all that stuff. I'm glad that they put him on the list. Top 10 easy.
The Macho Man was truly one of the greats. Number 9, John Cena.
Number 9.
Sure, Big Match John has been accused of burying up-and-coming young talent numerous times over the course of his illustrious career, but that doesn't take anything away from the natural magnetic energy of Cena as a performer. John's early career signified the dawn of WWE's ruthless aggression era during the early and mid-2000s, where Cena earned his stripes as a promising rookie saddled with an awkward but fun gimmick. As the rapping Doctor of Thugonomics, Cena put on good matches while honing his craft, working up the ranks to eventually become the WWE's most recognized star. Today, he's used that star power for good, doing charity work for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, while remaining a future WWE Hall of Famer.
Okay, Daniel Bryan being higher than John Cena is a little crazy. Should Daniel Bryan be on the list? Absolutely. Higher than John Cena? John Cena at 9? I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy because, again, I mean, it's so hard because someone like Stone Cold is probably going to be 1, 2, or 3, right? Stone Cold's rise and being like the number 1 wrestler was only about 6 years, 6 or 7 years, I'd say, right? So he doesn't have longevity, but the amount of influence that he had definitely puts him at the top. Daniel Bryan doesn't really have that longevity. John Cena has the longevity. He has the popularity. He doesn't have like the gimmick. I don't know. This is rough. I don't think John Cena should be at 9. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't think Daniel Bryan should be higher than John Cena. But if what is this? He's number 8 now, right? So we have Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, Hulk Hogan. Who are the other 3? And not having Rey Mysterio on this list is kind of weird too.
Daniel
What's up, Jared?
Bryan.
Hello, Moose.
Whether you
Welcome,
know him
guys.
as Bryan Danielson or the American Dragon, there's no denying that Daniel Bryan made his initial mark within the pro wrestling indie circuit. Bryan was already an underground star before jumping to WWE, but it wasn't a foregone conclusion that he would enjoy the same success in the big leagues.
No,
it took years of poor booking and forcing backstage hands for Bryan to emerge as one of the company's biggest stars, thanks mainly to their desire to keep him down in the mid-card. The Yes movement couldn't be stopped, however, and Daniel Bryan has since managed to overcome injury and destiny to become a multi-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
List, right?
Number 7, Eddie Guerrero.
Okay, all right. You gotta give a shout out to Eddie. I think he does deserve to be on this list, but that means Rey Mysterio should be on this list too. Again, I don't think Eddie's higher than John Cena, bro. I don't think he's higher than John Cena. He just should be on this list. Brock Lesnar's gonna be on this list too. Fuck. Okay, so 7. It's Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, probably Brock Lesnar. You gotta put Ray on this list, bro. If you're putting Eddie, you gotta put
What
Ray.
more can we say about Latino Heat himself, Eddie Guerrero? The much-missed superstar has proven to be an influence upon countless performers in the years since his passing, with young talent around the world
Who's another
studying
old
Guerrero's
person that could be
incredible
on here?
career. He came from a wrestling family and cut his teeth performing in Mexico, as well as with ECW
Also, this list
and
has
World
no women,
Championship
I'm
Wrestling.
assuming.
Eddie was already a star from that promotion's cruiserweight division, and he managed to use this momentum into a transition
Batista?
with friends Dean Malenko,
Batista's
Perry
not higher
Saturn,
than
and
me,
Chris Benoit over to WWE. Furthermore, Guerrero was able to overcome personal demons with a triumphant WWE Championship win over Brock Lesnar at No Way Out in 2004, cementing his career in front of the entire world.
Ric Flair?
Number 6,
Yeah, Ric
Ric
Flair.
Flair. There are many
I
wrestling
think we
fans
have
out there
the
who
last
will
5
argue that
then.
Ric Flair is the greatest of all time, and they're not wrong. It should be said, however, that Flair didn't need the WWE to make him a star, because he was already styling and profiling in the AWA and NWA long before he made his WWE debut in 1991. That doesn't mean that Flair didn't have some amazing matches during his time in the company, however, such as the time he won the 1992 Royal Rumble after debuting at number 3, or his association with the Evolution stable. Plus, his iconic retirement match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24
That means
in
Brock's not on the
2008
list,
was
'cause
a
Shawn
true
Michaels has to be
classic,
on this list.
a must-see
I'm
for anyone
replacing Brock
interested
with
in
Shawn.
the pathos of pro wrestling as a legitimate art form. Number 5, The Undertaker. Out of all the wrestlers on this list, there's just one who truly seems to personify WWE as a brand. Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker, has managed to reinvent himself numerous times, while remaining a homegrown WWE stalwart and a locker room leader. The Undertaker has evolved from a mystical monster heel into a
going
conquering
one-on-one
dark babyface,
with the
from a demonic cult
Undertaker!
leader to a badass biker, all the while capturing the imaginations of the
This is a
WWE
good-
universe for
good spot, I think.
generations. The Dead Man has delivered countless classics with the likes of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Mankind, the latter of which made world headlines after Taker infamously tossed him off a cage during Hell in a Cell 98.
Alright, so I think it's gonna be Stone Cold 1, The Rock 2, Michaels 3, Hulk Hogan 4. Crazy that Brock Lesnar's not on this list. I'm just gonna say it. I think Brock should be on the list. But he's not.
Often imitated but never duplicated,
Stone Cold's number
there
1.
will only be one Undertaker. Number 4, Bret the Hitman Hart. The excellent
Then you're not putting Hulk Hogan on this list. If we're just like forgetting him in his existence of Hulk Hogan, then I guess fine, but like I did kind of forget about Bret Hart,
wrestling
though.
in his blood, with the Hart family siring a multi-generational brood of professionals and performers in the industry. His quick and technical style helped define the
3 is
WWE's
Shawn.
new generation era, where the big and burly performers of old were being replaced by a younger and more
There's no way you
fast-paced
put
breed
Bret
of
Hart and not Shawn
performer.
Michaels.
The Hitman always delivered the goods, whether as a tag team with brother-in-law Jim the Anvil Neidhart, to his single success as both Intercontinental and WWE Heavyweight Champion. Body slams and clotheslines may have defined the business in the 1980s, but Bret Hart helped mark professional wrestling as a technical exercise with real athleticism and charisma. Number 3, The Rock.
Okay, 3
Dwayne
is
"The
a
Rock"
good spot,
Johnson
I guess.
is an international
You could
name
put Shawn at
today,
2.
but it was with WWE where the former Rocky Maivia honed all of the
The
talents
people's
which would make
champion.
him a certifiable superstar. The Rock made an art form out of the pro wrestling promo, where a performer delivers a monologue to further
If he
the
didn't leave for
storyline
like
of their
15 years,
character.
He
Johnson
would probably
could
be
talk
number
and
one,
ad-lib
honestly.
with the best of them, and this enabled his character to mature from a generic babyface to the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
When it comes to Bret Hart, I don't particularly I don't dislike him, but he has never really clicked with me, probably just because I didn't grow up watching him. And the Rocket 3, I think it's a good spot, honestly. I mean, he came back and wrestled John Cena twice. So he's like that generational type of person. He's come back and his stuff now has been really bad, but he has been able to insert himself into the main picture every time he does come back. He is a top tier person. Everybody knows who he is. I think 3's pretty good.
Was Rocky a great technical wrestler? No.
No, but he was
delivered where
electrifying.
and when it counted, and transcended his industry to become a worldwide icon. Number 2, Shawn Michaels.
Okay, so they're not putting
Just
Hulk
as The
Hogan on
Rock
the
was
list.
a genius at delivering promos, so too was Michael Shawn Hickenbottom, aka Shawn Michaels, adept at another one of the pro wrestling basics, selling. The term basically just means to sell your opponent's offense in order to achieve the proper
I don't
level
like
of
Shawn
drama
Michaels,
and
but
physicality for the match. Shawn Michaels could sell a car with
can't
no
deny his
wheels to your
talent.
local auto dealership without batting an eye, so innate was his skill as a performer. Sure, Shawn's reputation as a backstage politician is legendary, but no one's perfect, and the man has delivered so many 5-star matches over the years that it's easy to forget any of the negatives. The Heartbreak Kid
Not me,
is a
though.
true WWE legend.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe.
I will say, I think his backstage stuff is one of the reasons I don't like that. That's just been an ick for me, and why I don't really like Shawn Michaels. But damn, he has put on a lot of great matches. His WrestleMania match with Kurt Angle in WrestleMania 21 is one of my favorites of all time. WrestleMania 25 is considered the best WrestleMania match of all time against The Undertaker. He's had some. He's just so good in the ring, and one thing I'll give him credit for too is after 2003, I think he never won a world championship. I think that means that means a little bit, because he was still around for another almost decade. Never won a title, but he was always in the main event scene. He wrestled for the championship and stuff like that, but he never did win a title. So I guess that second half. I mean, I wouldn't have minded if he won a title, but that second half of him and his career, it does speak a little bit of volumes to have not won or politicianed his way into winning a title, I should say. So, credit to him. 2 is. I can't argue with it, but there's a couple faces here that are missing.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And he probably should be
was for
number
many
1.
the performer who personified WWE's lucrative Attitude Era, a period where the business was as violent, crude, and adult-oriented as television would allow. Stone Cold Steve Austin had audiences eating from the palm of his hand from the moment where that iconic shattering glass sound hit and his music filled the arena. Austin was an accomplished and believable badass on the mic, and an underrated performer in the ring, selling his opponent's offense while delivering his classic Stone Cold Stunner finisher to pop crowds around the world. If there's any one WWE performer who can be labeled as genre-defining, it might just be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Who's your Hall of Fame ballot pick?
Here's the thing, it's hard to judge because someone like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, they are probably the best wrestlers. Kurt Angle as well on that list. Best wrestlers of all time. The in-ring stuff. Stone Cold was good in the ring, but the end of his career type stuff wasn't that great. He's not a really super technical monster, but that was just because he had a broken neck, he had bum knees and stuff like that. And again, Stone Cold's run, it wasn't for a long time. I think it was 5 or 6 years, but those 5-6 years were so fantastic that it just puts him at the very top. To this day, you hear glass shatter, the crowd goes crazy, right? But then you have someone with Shawn Michaels who has always been one of the best, and all his matches are good for fucking 20, 30 years. That it's hard to judge. For me, the biggest names that are missing from this list are Hulk Hogan and Brock Lesnar. I'm sure there's a couple other ones. I think Triple H and Randy Orton are too low. I think Eddie Guerrero's too high, and that's no disrespect to him, but again, the longevity of those people, how much they've been on top, the main event matches, I think that puts them higher. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes probably shouldn't be on this list, at least for right now. If we're talking again, if you talk about like 2030, yeah, I would probably put them on the list if they stay healthy and whatnot. But for now, Cody Rhodes, like he was a mid-carder for such a long time that trying to put him up there is kind of crazy. I don't know. Roman Reigns, that's a hard one. Again, his run recently has been really good these last 5 years, but there was some rough stuff in the beginning, man. I don't know. It's a strange list. You got to put the other person that's missing from this list who will never be put on a list like this is Chris Benoit, just because of what happened. So like Chris Benoit, Brock Lesnar, and Hulk Hogan, I think because of outside of the wrestling landscape things that have happened, that's why they're not on this list. But you could definitely make an argument that they should be here. And I don't even like Hulk Hogan, but to like leave him off a list like this, it's deliberate. Like that is a political, like everybody hates Hulk Hogan, so we're not gonna put him on this list type of thing. So I get it. Same with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is in some legal stuff right now. We don't know if he's guilty or innocent. They probably just said we're not gonna even mess with that. We're not gonna touch that. And then again, Chris Benoit is just never going to be on a tier list like this again unless like it's an established WWE or wrestling thing and they explain like, hey, we don't like him, but like this match with at WrestleMania 20, boom, his stuff with Kurt Angle, boom, like he was a great wrestler. He's just a shitty human being. That's straight up. It's leaving the shitty human beings off the list. So whether you agree or disagree with that, that's pretty much why. But that is the top 20 greatest WWE wrestlers of all time, according to WatchMojo. I think they got some right, but yeah, see, even this, putting him above Cena, Orton, and Triple H on this, the Triple H is way too low, bro. Putting Daniel Bryan up there is crazy. Whoever made this list just started watching wrestling this year. Triple H below top 15 is already wrong in many ways. No Hulk Hogan, this list can never be taken seriously. Disliking Hogan is totally okay, but ignoring his absolute dominance in wrestling for over a decade is just bad journalism. Yeah, it is crazy to not have him on there, but that is what it is. If you guys like the video, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff.